So here I am in 6VDT, and I hail them in local. I say, hi, where do I sign up for tests? And I get informed that apparently I just missed them. Maybe they're on deployment. Perhaps they've just rented the place recently. But that's okay. I mean, these guys seem like pretty nice fellows, and they did offer me an escort, so I asked if maybe they could use my services. They do recognize me, of course. Would be kind of surprised if they hadn't. And I, offer them some credentials in case my reputation isn't enough by itself, which would be kind of difficult to believe, but I suppose you can't be too careful. Then we get into a little discussion about cybercrime. It's extremely, apparently they're extremely concerned about kill boards talking to satellites, and that's okay because I'm sure that I'm also the world's best cybercrime and security specialist. I ask about their accommodations, the riders in my contract, and they seem to be a little slow in making a decision. I'm not sure exactly why that is, but perhaps they're just getting funds together. I mean, I understand that once in a while nullsec alliances can be kind of cash-strapped since there's not really that much money to be made in sovereignty nullsec, which is okay. So just to let them know that I am who I am, I warp out to the station and let them take a look, and then I go back to kind of checking out the local scenery. And once in a while, I'll pop back to the station, just let them know I'm still talking, I'm still interested. We talk about the health, diet tips, stuff about relationships, and everything seems to be going pretty well, if a little slow for my taste, but that's okay. And then I guess they want to verify my identity because I see that one of the ships at the station locks me up, and I'm sure he's doing this just to do a quick identity scan. But then I suppose the pilot, and you know these nullsec pilots, once in a while they'll just make mistakes. One of them kind of, I suppose, accidentally hits the fire key. And, I do chide them a bit because it's not very polite, especially when you're dealing with someone who's going to be commanding you in the field. But, we smooth things over a little bit. I don't hold a grudge. And we talk about skills, and then I notice something terrible happening. A Sino appears on the station. I warn them, but I don't think they're responding fast enough, and so it's up to me to save the day. I identify the Sino and immediately dive in. Now, you have to be very careful. This fight was just gut-wrenching, because you know that Sino frigs are extremely well-armed. You can see how much damage I'm taking from him. But in the end, I win the day. And I'm afraid that maybe he has allies in the area, so I warp off. Confident that this act will forever cement my reputation with my new friends here in 6VDT. But nobody's congratulating me. I mean, it could be that they're just in shock at how well I executed that kill, and perhaps they're just talking about it with each other. They're going over the videotapes, so they just can't believe I did use a lot of cool maneuvers there. I mean, I hit the orbit button, and I hit the fire button, and I used my scrambler and all of that, and sometimes that can be a little bit overwhelming, but still, I would have expected a little bit more response by now, so I'll let them know that, the window of opportunity is come and gone, and perhaps I will have better luck finding the test recruitment office that I was looking for in Delve, where I think they maintain an office in K616. So I'm going to head off in that direction. So as expected, the trip is fairly quiet for a good number of jumps. Maybe Fatal Ascension was just embarrassed that they chose not to honor me. Then I realized that this guy seems to be following me. And I think, oh, another person escorting me. And better yet, he's in test line. So I say hello using all my diplomatic skills, but he doesn't respond. And I think, well, maybe he needs some more inducement just to open his hailing frequencies. And, I understand sometimes people are a little nervous talking to me, so I look up a random name of a pilot, and I hope maybe he's in test, and I type an inquiry about him, but I guess I misspelled it. He does look like a jumble of random letters, honestly. And then I suppose I say the wrong thing because after that they lose interest in following me. And I guess, in some way it's my own fault. Even though I am obviously great at diplomacy, still fairly new at it, and maybe saying that they were no fun was just, I hurt their feelings or something. But in any case, I'm pretty close to Null, and I know that Null is not K6, but I do remember that Test did have some kind of an office in Null, and I figure one of these guys in system must be able to direct me to the recruitment office, especially since one of them is obviously in Reddit. But no one talks to me, and now I'm beginning to doubt myself. I'm beginning to have bits of self-doubt that perhaps I might only be the second greatest diplomat in EVE history, which is a little bit disturbing. But, you have to brush those things aside and realize that the only thing to do when you have those sorts of feelings is just to blame it on some external factor. Like maybe I really do have to go to K6 in order to find the recruitment office. And so I do that. And unfortunately, I don't quite make it all the way there because I run into some kind of an odd celestial object while I'm jumping from gate to gate. And there's an Ishkur here. So I decide that I'm going to engage this Ishkur, because obviously my ship is a good match for it. It's almost a hard counter really for drones and Tech 2 resistances. So I go ahead and engage it, and unfortunately I think maybe I'd taken too much damage from that earlier fight, because my ship just couldn't take it anymore, and that's one of the lessons of EVE as well. I mean, you can see here like how it screwed up my internal cameras are. I couldn't even focus on my corpse. To know the limitations of your ship, even if you yourself don't have any. And I'll just leave you with that, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.